The human's fist smashed into the alien's jaw with a sickening crunch, splattering dark green blood across the gleaming white walls of the Tarkalian starship. Benjamin Bryant, a mere human specimen, was not supposed to be capable of such primal savagery. And yet here he was, standing over the unconscious body of his reptilian captor, Commander Zander, the gruesome scene a testament to the untamed ferocity that lurked within the human species. Bryant had awoken mere minutes ago in a holding cell aboard the TSS Zorgax, abducted from his remote colony world by the towering, scale-skinned aliens known as the Tarkalians. Humanity had long been deemed too dangerous, too unpredictable for contact with the galactic community. Bryant, a grizzled ex-Marine and survivor, was supposed to be the exception, hand-picked by Zander himself to prove the Galactic Council wrong about Earth's inherently violent children. But now as alarms blared and the thunder of booted feet echoed through the ship's corridors, Bryant knew his chances of success were slim to none. He was outnumbered, outgunned, and utterly alone in the cold depths of space. Even if he managed to fight his way off the Zorgax, he had no way of navigating the countless light years back to Epsilon Eridani III, back to his wife and son. Bryant's only hope was to play along with Zander's twisted game, to participate in the aliens' trial of worthiness, and somehow convince the Galactic Council that humanity deserved a place among the stars. The alternative was too horrific to imagine, Earth forever cut off from the cosmos, left to wither and die in the suffocating isolation of a permanent quarantine. As the holding cell door hissed open and a flood of armed Tarkalian guards poured in, Bryant steeled himself for the battle to come. He would not let his species be condemned to oblivion, not without a fight. The human race's fate rested on his shoulders, and failure was not an option. Bryant would prove once and for all that humans were not too dangerous for contact. They were too dangerous to be contained. Bryant's boots thudded against the Zorgax's metal floor as he shadowed Commander Zander through the twisting ship corridors. Zander's strides were purposeful, driving them deeper into the massive vessel with each heavy footfall. Bryant's eyes flicked from side to side, noting each alien species working at various consoles and terminals. He glimpsed a furry Zindarian adjusting a holographic display and a burly Krellian soldier on patrol, plasma rifle in hand. Viewports dotted the passageway, offering fleeting visions of the star-speckled blackness outside. The expanse of the void beyond the reinforced glass sent a shiver down Bryant's spine, reminding him of the uncaring depths humanity hoped to navigate. Failure here meant never piercing that cold shroud of space. Zander halted before a circular hatch, keying a code into the access panel. The door slid open, revealing a spacious chamber with tiered seating ringing a central dais. As Bryant stepped inside, the dozen aliens occupying the seats turned their unblinking eyes upon him. Zander motioned Bryant toward the raised platform, then took his own place among the gathered council members. "Esteemed members of the Galactic Council," Zander began, his voice echoing in the chamber, "I present to you Benjamin Bryant, a human from the colony world of Epsilon Eridani III. He has been chosen to face the trials of worthiness to determine if humanity is ready for contact with the galactic community." A lithe, azure-skinned counselor rose from his seat, fixing Zander with a penetrating stare from his onyx eyes. "Commander, you know the risks of bringing a human aboard the TSS Zorgax. Their species is known for their aggression, unpredictability, and disregard for galactic law. Why should we even consider them for contact?" Zander met the counselor's gaze unflinchingly. "Counselor Xyloth, I believe that humanity's unique qualities may prove valuable to the galactic community. They are adaptable, resourceful, and possess a strong sense of loyalty and honor. Let us give Bryant a chance to prove himself." Murmurs rippled through the assembled representatives, some nodding their approval, while others shook their heads in clear dissent. Xyloth released a long-suffering sigh. "Very well, Commander Zander. The human will face the trials, but be warned, if he fails, it will be on your head." Bryant stepped forward, his heart hammering against his ribs. He lifted his chin, meeting the eyes of each counselor in turn. "I accept the trials, and I will prove that humanity is worthy of contact." Silence fell over the chamber like a smothering blanket. A holographic display flared to life above the central platform, casting an eerie blue glow across Bryant's features. The rotating image resolved into a series of challenges, each more daunting than the last. In a blinding flash of light, Bryant found himself transported from the council chamber to a lush alien jungle. The humid air clung to his skin as he surveyed his new surroundings, the towering trees and tangled undergrowth an immediate reminder of the trials ahead. Back on the TSS Zorgax, the council members watched intently as a holographic display tracked Bryant's progress through the treacherous environment. Commander Zander leaned forward, his eyes fixed on the human's every move. Bryant pushed through the dense foliage, his marine instincts kicking into high gear. Strange animal calls echoed through the jungle, setting his nerves on edge. He fashioned a makeshift spear from a sturdy branch, using a sharp stone to hone its point. As he pressed deeper into the jungle, Bryant encountered a pack of vicious insectoid creatures with razor-sharp mandibles. He fought them off with his spear, his combat training allowing him to dispatch the creatures with brutal efficiency. Venturing further, Bryant stumbled upon a massive six-legged reptilian beast with gleaming claws and a whip-like tail. The creature hissed menacingly, its venomous fangs bared. But instead of attacking, Bryant stood his ground, locking eyes with the beast. He slowly approached, his hand outstretched in a gesture of peace. To the council's astonishment, the beast calmed, allowing Bryant to run his hand along its scaly hide. In a display of incredible adaptability, Bryant managed to tame the fearsome creature, using it to help him navigate the jungle's dangers. With his newfound companion, Bryant traversed the remaining obstacles with unparalleled speed and agility. He completed the trial in record time, leaving the council members stunned by his performance. As Bryant materialized back in the council chamber, Commander Zander couldn't help but feel a swell of pride. However, Councillor Xyloth remained skeptical. "One trial does not prove humanity's worth, Commander. The human must face the remaining challenges before we can make a decision." The holographic display shifted, revealing the next trial, a gauntlet of complex puzzles and riddles designed to test Bryant's mental acuity. Bryant set to work, his brow furrowed in concentration as he tackled each challenge. The council watched as Bryant approached the problems from unexpected angles, his unorthodox solutions leaving them astonished. Even Councillor Xyloth found himself begrudgingly impressed by the human's mental prowess. With the second trial complete, Bryant steeled himself for the challenges yet to come. The weight of humanity's fate rested heavily on his shoulders, but he was determined to prove his species' worth to the galactic community. In a flash of blinding light, Bryant found himself transported to a colossal arena on a barren moon. The structure's walls stretched high into the starry sky, encircling a sandy pit where he would face his next challenge. Bryant's boots sank into the loose sand as he strode to the center of the arena, his heart pounding with anticipation. The first few opponents were a blur of fists and claws, their attacks easily deflected by Bryant's lightning-fast reflexes. His marine training kicked in like muscle memory, allowing him to dispatch the aliens with brutal efficiency. But as the battles wore on, Bryant found himself pitted against increasingly skilled warriors. A towering, four-armed behemoth entered the arena, twin energy swords crackling in its hands. The alien's blades sliced through the air with blinding speed, forcing Bryant to rely on his agility to evade the deadly strikes. He ducked and weaved, searching for an opening in the alien's defenses. Sweat poured down Bryant's face as he dodged another flurry of attacks, the heat of the energy blades searing his skin. In a burst of desperate speed, he lunged forward, sliding beneath the alien's guard and driving his fist into its unprotected midsection. The behemoth staggered back, giving Bryant the opportunity he needed. With a series of lightning-fast strikes, Bryant exploited his smaller size and superior speed, whittling down the alien's defenses until he could deliver a final, crushing blow. The four-armed warrior crumpled to the sand, and Bryant stood victorious, his chest heaving with exertion. As the trials progressed, Bryant's performance began to attract the attention of the TSS Zorgax's crew. Alien spectators whispered among themselves, their eyes wide with a newfound respect for the human warrior. Even the skeptical council members, like Councillor Xyloth, couldn't help but be impressed by Bryant's tenacity and skill. Just as Bryant prepared to face his final opponent, a deafening explosion rocked the arena. Smoke and debris filled the air as heavily armed pirates, led by the notorious Tarkalian warlord Khrazix, poured into the stands. The pirates opened fire on the council members and crew, their energy weapons leaving scorch marks on the arena walls. Without hesitation, Bryant leapt into action. He charged towards the pirates, dodging their blaster fire and engaging them in close combat. His fists and feet became a blur as he fought alongside Commander Xander and the TSS Zorgax's security forces, working to protect the council members and repel the attack. Khrazix himself joined the fray, his eyes gleaming with malice as he leveled his blaster at Bryant. The human warrior ducked behind a fallen piece of debris, his mind racing as he formulated a plan. With a burst of speed, Bryant launched himself at Khrazix, closing the distance between them in seconds. The two warriors clashed in a flurry of blows, their movements a deadly dance of skill and strength. Bryant's fists pounded against Khrazix's scaly hide, while the Tarkalian's claws raked across the human's arms and chest. Blood mingled with sweat as they fought, neither giving an inch. In a final desperate gambit, Bryant feinted left, drawing Khrazix's attention away from his true target. With a lightning-fast strike, he drove his fist into the Tarkalian's throat, crushing his windpipe and sending him crashing to the ground. Khrazix convulsed once, twice, then lay still, his eyes staring sightlessly at the starry sky above. As the last of the pirates were subdued or fled, the council members emerged from their hiding places, their faces a mix of shock and awe. They had witnessed firsthand the bravery and skill of the human warrior, and now they found themselves re-evaluating their stance on humanity's readiness for contact with the galactic community. Bryant stood amidst the wreckage of the arena, his body battered but his spirit unbroken. He had proven himself in the face of impossible odds, not just for himself, but for all of humanity. The road ahead would be long and fraught with challenges, but for the first time, the council members began to see the potential for a future where humans and aliens could stand together as allies. Councillor Xyloth approached Bryant, his expression unreadable. "You have shown great courage and skill, human," he said, his voice tinged with reluctant respect. "Perhaps there is more to your species than we initially believed." Bryant met the councillor's gaze, his eyes blazing with determination. "Humanity is ready to take its place among the stars," he said, his voice unwavering. "We have much to offer the galactic community, and much to learn in return." Commander Xander placed a hand on Bryant's shoulder, a smile tugging at the corners of his mouth. "You have done well, Bryant," he said, his voice filled with pride. "But your journey is far from over. The final trial awaits, and with it, the fate of your entire species." Bryant nodded, his resolve hardening like steel. He had come too far to fail now. Whatever challenges lay ahead, he would face them head-on, armed with the knowledge that the future of humanity rested on his shoulders. The council members exchanged glances, their expressions a mix of anticipation and uncertainty. They had seen the potential in Bryant, but the final trial would be the true test of humanity's worth. As Bryant prepared to face his ultimate challenge, the weight of his responsibilities settled on his shoulders like a physical burden. He knew that the fate of his species hung in the balance, and that failure was not an option. But he also knew that he had the strength and determination to see this through no matter the cost. The arena faded away, replaced by the sterile walls of the TSS Zorgax's council chamber. Bryant stood before the assembled representatives, his body still aching from the battles he had fought. But his mind was clear, focused on the task at hand. The Galactic Council chamber buzzed with tension as the representatives took their seats, the echoes of the pirate attack still fresh in their minds. Bryant stood at the center of the room, his hands clasped behind his back, his eyes fixed on the council members. Xander sat to his left, his expression unreadable. Councillor Xyloth rose from his seat, his blue skin flushed with emotion. "In light of recent events," he began, his voice echoing through the chamber. "I believe it is time we reconsider our stance on humanity. Benjamin Bryant's actions during the pirate incursion have shown that humans possess qualities that could greatly benefit the galactic community. I move that we establish formal relations with Earth and its colonies." Murmurs rippled through the assembled representatives, some nodding in agreement, others shaking their heads in dissent. But before the debate could begin in earnest, a new figure emerged from the shadows. A hooded form glided into the chamber, its features obscured by a dark cowl. "I am the Overseer," the figure said, its voice a rasping whisper, "and I must object to Councillor Xyloth's proposal." Bryant tensed, his instincts screaming danger as the Overseer approached the center of the room. The figure turned to face him, its eyes glinting beneath the hood. "The pirate attack was no coincidence," the Overseer said, its voice dripping with malice. "It was a test orchestrated by this very council to assess humanity's true nature. And what did we learn? That humans are unpredictable, chaotic, and prone to violence. Bryant's actions during the attack only served to reinforce this truth." The Overseer pointed a gnarled finger at Bryant, its voice rising in accusation. "This human's quick thinking and adaptability may seem admirable, but they are the very qualities that make his species too dangerous for contact. Humans are volatile, their emotions ruling their actions. They cannot be trusted with the advanced technology and knowledge of the galactic community." The chamber erupted into chaos, council members shouting over each other as they argued the Overseer's claims. Bryant clenched his jaw, his heart pounding in his chest. He couldn't let this happen, couldn't let humanity's fate be decided by fear and prejudice. He stepped forward, his voice cutting through the din. "Esteemed council members," he said, his tone firm and unwavering, "I implore you to judge humanity as individuals, not as a monolithic species. Just as there are peaceful and cooperative humans, there are also violent and destructive individuals among the races represented here today. We are not defined by our worst impulses, but by our capacity for growth, compassion, and understanding." The chamber fell silent, the weight of Bryant's words hanging in the air. For a moment he dared to hope that he had swayed the council, that humanity would be given a chance to prove itself. But as the votes were cast, Bryant's heart sank. The council had sided with the Overseer, deciding to maintain humanity's isolation from the galactic community. The Overseer's lips curled into a triumphant smile beneath its hood as Bryant was escorted from the chamber, his mission a failure. In the holding cell, Xander approached Bryant, his expression grim. "I'm sorry, Bryant," he said, placing a hand on the human's shoulder. "I had hoped for a different outcome." Bryant shook his head, his voice heavy with defeat. "I failed, Xander. I failed my species, my planet. I thought I could prove our worth, but I only made things worse." Xander leaned in close, his voice dropping to a whisper. "Listen to me, Bryant. The Council's decision was not unanimous. There are factions out there that fear humanity, that may seek to neutralize what they perceive as a threat. When you return to Earth, you must warn your people. Prepare them for the possibility of hostile contact in the future." Bryant nodded, his mind reeling with the implications of Xander's words. He had set out to bring humanity into the galactic community, but now he had unintentionally set them on a path towards conflict. As the TSS Zorgax entered Earth's orbit, Bryant stood at a viewport, his eyes fixed on the blue and green planet below. He thought of his wife and son, of the billions of lives that hung in the balance. The weight of his failure pressed down on him like a physical force, threatening to crush him beneath its weight. But as he watched the stars glitter in the endless expanse of space, Bryant felt a flicker of hope. Maybe, just maybe, there was still a chance for humans and aliens to find a way to coexist peacefully. Maybe, someday, the mistakes of the past could be forgiven, and a new future could be forged. Bryant stepped away from the viewport, his jaw set with resolve. He had a warning to deliver, a planet to prepare. The road ahead would be long and fraught with danger, but he would not rest until humanity was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. You have reached the end of the story. If you enjoyed this story and want to support us, please leave a like and subscribe to our channel, and for every comment that says 88, I will heart every single one of them. Thank you for your time.